Separation of power. Recently, demand of executive representation in a collegium system had started debate over doctrine of separation of power in Indian constitution setup. Federalism, unique status of Delhi. In recent time, tussles is going between union territories and center affecting routine administrative work in union territories. More about news. In Supreme Court, a case is going on the tussle between Delhi government and center over administrative control of postings and transfers of civil servants belonging to All India services serving in Delhi. Central government stated that union territory is nothing but an extension of Union of India. Present status of Delhi as union territory. 69th Amendment of Constitution in 1991 gave National Capital of Delhi special status with its own democratically elected government and legislative assembly. Insertion of new articles 239AA and 239AB after Article 239A of Constitution. Legislative Assembly shall have power to enumerate anything in state list or in concurrent list, insofar as any such matter is applicable to union territories, provided that in case of difference of opinion between Lieutenant Governor and his ministers on any matter, Lieutenant Governor shall refer it to the President for decision and act according to the decision given thereon by the President. Public order, police and land in National Capital Territory of Delhi fall within domain of Union Government. Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act GNCTD 2021. Term government in any law made by Legislative Assembly shall mean Lieutenant Governor. Lieutenant Governor's opinion shall be obtained before government takes any executive action based on decisions taken by the cabinet or any individual ministers. Lieutenant Governor will not assent to and pass on to President for consideration any bill which incidentally covers any of matters which falls outside purview of the powers conferred on Legislative Assembly. Deputy Speaker of House appointment elected by Lok Sabha from amongst its members. Article 93. As office of Deputy Speaker becomes vacant, Lok Sabha elects another member. Date of election of Deputy Speaker is fixed by Speaker. Corresponding position for Deputy Speaker of Legislative Assembly of a State. Article 178. Term of office 5 years. Role of Deputy Speaker: act as a Speaker when Speaker is absent. Act as a Speaker, not subordinate to Speaker. He is directly responsible to House. Whenever he is appointed as a member of Parliamentary Committee, he automatically becomes Chairman. Powers and functions of Deputy Speaker. Article 95. Cannot vote in first instance but can exercise a casting vote. President joint sitting of both houses of Parliament when Speaker is absent. Removal. Deputy Speaker has to vacate office in any of 3 cases. Article 94. Removed only by resolution passed by Lok Sabha by special majority. Resigns by writing to Speaker. Ceases to be a member of Lok Sabha. Deputy Speakers cannot preside Lok Sabha while a resolution for his removal from office is under consideration. Article 96. Salaries and allowances. Article 97. Fixed by Parliament, charged on Consolidated Fund of India. Deputy Speaker. Term 5 years. Not subordinate. Not subordinate to Speaker. Article 93. Article 95, 3, 94, 95, 96, 97. Charge on Consolidated Fund of India. Vibrant Villages Program VVP. Cabinet approves Vibrant Village Program VVP scheme. Vibrant Village Program is centrally sponsored scheme, will provide funds for development of essential infrastructure and creation of livelihood opportunities along the northern land border. Vibrant Village Program approved for 22 to 23 to 25 to 26 will cover Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Ladakh. Scheme will help in improving quality of life of people and reversing out migration, adding to improved security of border. Key features of the scheme: Vibrant village action plans will be created by district administration with the help of gram panchayats. Development of growth centers on hub and spoke model through promotion of social entrepreneurship, youth and women empowerment, etc. Out of financial allocation of 4,800 crore, 2,500 crore rupees will be used for roads. 100% saturation of central and state schemes will be ensured. No overlap with Border Area Development Program. Border Area Development Program aims to meet development needs of people living in remote and inaccessible areas situated near international border. Outcomes expected: connectivity with all weather road, drinking water, 24/7 electricity with focus on solar and wind energy, mobile and internet connectivity, tourist or multi-purpose or health and wellness centers. PM sets $5 billion target in defense exports by 24 to 25. Errata. Article 5.3, Article 5, Class 3 Delimitation Commission. Delimitation Commission. The Delimitation Commission info duty constitutional body. It should be statutory body. Okay, wrong. International relations. President of Egypt was the chief guest for India's 74th Republic Day celebrations. President of Egypt. India-Egypt relations key facts. Egypt is strategically located, making it a hub for trade routes between Europe, Africa and Asia. India-Egypt signed a friendship treaty in 1955. Bilateral trade stands at $7 billion. India and Egypt are founding members of Non-Aligned Movement NAM along with Yugoslavia, Ghana and Indonesia. Friendship Treaty of 1955, India to Egypt Joint Commission 1983. India is third largest export market for Egypt and act as a gateway to Europe and Africa. Egypt is also one of the largest investment destinations for India in the region. India signed preferential trade agreement with Egypt under Global System of Trade Preferences. Defense. Joint Defense Committee JDC started in 2006. Exercise Desert Warrior. Indian Navy ships taking port calls of Egyptian ports, etc. India-Eurasia. Recently, several countries including Japan, South Korea, Australia, etc. have taken initiative suggesting a growing focus over better relationship between European and Asian countries. Significance of Eurasia for India. Alternate to BRI. INSTC International North-South Transport Corridor along with the Ashgabat Agreement to enhance connectivity within the Eurasian region in the long run and can act as a counter to OPEC BRI. Economic. India is working towards joining the EU to further its contacts with Eurasia. This will give access to Indian goods to entire geographic space through a single tariff, boosting exports and overall economic growth. Social. Central Asian e-network by India is an attempt to leverage its prowess in IT sector by linking India's top hospitals and educational institutions with hubs in the region. It will bridge digital divide and bolster their capacity in areas of health and education. Alternate to Suez Canal. Euro-Asian inland transport links provides an alternate to the congested Suez Canal to boost the resilience of the intercontinental trade flows. Indian diaspora. India hosted the 17th PBD convention in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Theme of PBD. Diaspora, reliable partners for India's progress in Amrit Kal. Focus country, Latin America. Pravas Bharatiya Samman awards were also conferred in the convention. Okay. About Pravas Bharatiya Divas. The Pravas Bharatiya Divas PBD, Pravas Bharatiya Divas PBD is observed on 9th January. It commemorates the return of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa to India on 9th January 1915. First PBD convention was organized on 9th January 2003. Since 2015, PBD convention has been organized once every 2 years. Objective to provide a platform for the Indian diaspora across the globe to engage with the government and help strengthen ties. The Pravas Bharatiya Samman Award is the highest honor conferred on a non-resident Indian, a person of Indian origin or an organization or institution established and run by them. It commemorates the contribution of Indian diaspora to create a better understanding of India abroad, support India's causes and work for the welfare of the local Indian community. Wassenaar Agreement. At the 26th annual plenary of the Wassenaar Agreement, India assumed the chairmanship for 1 year. Wassenaar Agreement is a voluntary multilateral export control regime. Objective to promote transparency and greater responsibility in transfers of conventional arms and dual use goods and technologies by facilitating information sharing among Wassenaar Agreement participating states. Standard setting on export controls of conventional arms and dual use goods and technologies. Members 42 members. India also a member of Wassenaar Agreement. Other key information. The Wassenaar Agreement operates on a voluntary basis and decisions are made by consensus. The Wassenaar Agreement plenary is the decision making body of the Wassenaar Arrangement. The Wassenaar Arrangement plenary is the decision making body of the Wassenaar Arrangement. Wassenaar Arrangement. Except for China, all other permanent members of the UN Security Council are signatories of the Wassenaar Arrangement. India joined the Wassenaar Arrangement as its 42nd participating state in 2017. Bilateral military exercises in news. Bilateral defense exercises in news. Dustlik India Uzbekistan. Dharma Guardian Veer Guardian India to Japan. Dharma Guardian Veer Guardian India Japan. Cyclone 1 India to Egypt. India and Egypt. Tarkash India US. Growth, development and poverty alleviation. Mahila Samman Savings Certificate. In the recent budget, the government announced the new small savings scheme Mahila Samman Savings Certificate for women. Importance of small savings schemes. Providing a safety net for vulnerable sections of society such as senior citizens, widows and disabled individuals resource mobilization for government, contributing around 20% of the center's borrowing requirement. Transfer to states, around 75% of net small saving collections are transferred to states as part of their loans from the center. Market implications. The effective return on these schemes can influence the fund flow into capital and secondary markets. ఏ వస్తాయో తెలీదు అని చదవాలి ఫస్ట్ ఒకసారి అలా వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ ఇంకొకసారి వద్దాం. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code (IBC). To strengthen the functioning of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code (IBC), the Ministry of Corporate Affairs (MCA) has released proposed changes to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code for public comments. About Insolvency Bankruptcy Code and its features. In force since 2016, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code is India's comprehensive law for a time-bound market mechanism to address the insolvency of corporate persons, partnership firms and individuals. IBC is based on 4 pillars of institutional infrastructure with insolvency professionals, members of IP agency IPA to carry out the resolution process, information utilities to store deals on lenders, lending firms, lending terms etc. in an electronic database to facilitate insolvency resolution. Example, National E-Government Services Limited. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India to regulate functioning of IPS, IPAs and IUs. Adjudicating Authority, National Company Law Tribunal and Debit Recovery Tribunal. NCLT adjudicates insolvency resolution for companies while DRT adjudicates for individuals. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal is the appellate authority for hearing appeals against the orders passed by NCLT. Based on the assets value and debitor type, IBC provides for different corporate insolvency resolution process as corporate insolvency resolution process, pre-packed insolvency resolution process and fast track corporate insolvency resolution process. Refer image for CIRP. It is a creditor in control model to resolve the corporate insolvency of a corporate debitor. It can be initiated by a financial creditor, an operational creditor and corporate applicant of corporate debitor for defaults of minimum amount of 1 crore rupees. It is to be completed within a period of 180 days with a maximum of 270 days. Procyclical. Procyclic refers to a condition of a positive correlation between the value of a good, a service or an economic indicator and the overall state of the economy. International Labour Organization (ILO). Recently, International Labour Organization's monitor on the world of work was released. Number of hours worked globally dropped, which is equivalent to deficit of 112 million full-time jobs. Informal women workers have been hit harder than their male counterparts. 8 fundamental conventions of International Labour Organizations. Convention name: Freedom of Association and Protection of the Right to Organize Convention, 1948. Forced Labour Convention, 1930. Abolition of Forced Labour Convention, 1957. Minimum Age Convention, 1973. Worst Forms of Child Labour Convention, 1999. Equal Remuneration Convention, 1951. Discrimination, Employment and Occupation Convention, 1958. 4 Governance Priority Conventions of ILO. Labour Inspection Convention, 1947. Employment Policy Convention, 1964. Labour Inspection Agriculture Convention, 1969. India stands no. Tripartite Consultation International Labour Standards Convention, 1976. India stands yes. fertilizer sector in India. Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers launched Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana, One Nation One Fertilizer Scheme. Jan Urvarak Pariyojana, One Nation One Fertilizer Scheme. About the scheme, One Nation One Fertilizer Scheme aims at marketing fertilizers in the country under Bharat brand name. Under the scheme, all subsidized soil nutrients, urea, diammonium phosphate, muriate of potash and NPK will be marketed under single brand Bharat. The uniform design of bags across the country will now mention them as Bharat Urea, Bharat DAP, Bharat MOP, Bharat NPK and so on. It is applicable to all fertilizer companies, state trading entities and fertilizer marketing entities. Inland waterways in India. Recently, Prime Minister unveiled Inland Waterways project worth over 1000 crore rupees to increase transport, trade and tourism in Eastern India. Haldia Multi-Modal Terminal in West Bengal was inaugurated under Jalmarg Vikas project with cargo handling capacity of around over 3 million metric tons per annum. Maritime Skill Development Center for the Northeast was inaugurated in Guwahati. Foundation stone for a ship repair facility and an elevated route at Pandu Terminal in Guwahati was laid. More than 60 community jetties are being constructed along the river Ganga to boost economic activities and improve the livelihoods of local communities in the region. Article 6.2 Mechanism of Paris Agreement. Union government has finalized a list of activities to facilitate transfer of emerging technologies and mobilize international finance in India. Earlier, National Designated Authority for Implementation of Paris Agreement was notified. National Designated Authority for Implementation of Paris Agreement is mandated to decide type of projects that may take part in international carbon market under Article 6 mechanisms. About Article 6. Article 6 of Paris Agreement allows countries to voluntarily cooperate with each other to achieve emission reduction targets set out in their national determined contributions. Under this, countries will be able to transfer carbon credits earned from reduction to greenhouse gases emissions to help countries meet climate targets. Article 6.2 creates basis for trading in GHG emission reductions. 13 activities finalized initially for 3 years under 3 heads. GHG mitigation activities, renewable energy with storage, solar thermal power, offshore and wind, green hydrogen, compressed biogas, tidal energy, ocean thermal energy, etc. Alternate materials, green ammonia, process of making ammonia is 100% renewable and carbon free. Removal activities, carbon capture, utilization and storage. Union Budget 2023 to 2024 announced Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitats and Tangible Income Scheme. MISTI scheme aims to mangrove plantation among the coastline and on-salt panlands. Mangrove plantations will be taken up through convergence of job guarantee schemes, MGN, REGS, compensatory afforestation fund and other funding sources. Mangroves. Characteristics, littoral plant formations of tropical and subtropical sheltered coastlines, described as coastal woodland, tidal forest and mangrove forest. Characteristics of mangroves. Appearance, it is a small shrub that does not grow tall. Habitat, grows in brackish or coastal saline water. Adaptations, has a complex root system and a complex salt filtration system which enables them to withstand wave action, salt water immersion and also makes them survive in waterlogged mud and low oxygen conditions. Related news, sustainable aquaculture in mangrove ecosystem initiative. New initiative of sustainable shrimp cultivation provides hope for mangrove restoration in Sundarbans. SAIME is community based pilot project in West Bengal under which farmers are planting mangroves around shrimp ponds. Generally, mangrove forests are cleared to cultivate shrimps in the areas. It is being conceived by Nature, Environment and Wildlife Society, Global Nature Fund and others. Ethanol blending. Recently, petrol blended with 20% ethanol was rolled out at select petrol pumps in 11 states and union territories. At present, 10% ethanol is blended in petrol, 10% ethanol, 90% petrol, and the government is looking to double this quantity by 2025. In June 2022, India achieved an average blending rate of 10% ethanol in petrol. In the first phase, 15 cities will be covered, and in the next 2 years, it will be expanded throughout the country. What is ethanol blending? Ethanol blended petrol primarily is a biofuel that is obtained from an organic source like sugarcane, maize, wheat, etc. Since it is plant based, it is considered to be a renewable fuel. The National Policy on Biofuels notified by the government in 2018 envisaged an indicative target of 20% ethanol blending in petrol by year 2030. However, the target of 20% ethanol blending E20 was advanced from 2030 to 2025 to 2026 from 2030 from the oil marketing. Companies are to procure ethanol from domestic sources and blends ethanol as its terminals. Government has notified administered price of ethanol since 2014. Department of Food and Public Distribution is the nodal department for promotion of fuel grade ethanol producing distilleries in the country. Landmark achievement in 8 years. 8 times increase in ethanol blending. Number of distilleries increased by 40% in 5 years. Ethanol distillation capacity almost doubled. Helped in containing petrol price by over 3 rupees per liter. Organic farming certification. Ministry of Commerce and Industry has begun adopting additional on-site measures to check field level irregularities in organic farming certification. India ranks first in number of organic farmers and ninth in terms of area under organic farming. Ninth in terms of area. Okay. This includes verification of organizations that certify organic farming. The development follows various irregularities being observed in the certification activities. Benefits of organic farming. An environment prohibits use of harmful pesticides, maintains a healthy soil, reduces erosion, provides cleaner water, stimulates biodiversity. And farmers reduce the input cost of farmers, attract more customers. For consumers, no health risk, higher levels of vitamins, minerals, healthy fatty acids and phytonutrients. Nano urea. Union Minister of Health, Chemicals and Fertilizers has inaugurated the IFFCO nano urea liquid plants at Eonola and Falfar in Uttar Pradesh. These two plants would expand the current production capacity of nano urea. At present, the capacity of nano urea production is over 50 million bottles per year. There is no government subsidy on nano urea, and hence there will be huge savings for the government. Nano urea, nano fertilizers that contains nano nitrogen particles of size range 20 to 50 dispersed 20 to 50 nm dispersed in water. Benefits from IFFCO nano urea: making farming easy and sustainable, higher crop yields, increased income for farmers, better food quality, reduction in chemical fertilizer usage, environment friendly, easy to store and transport. Aquaculture. Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying inaugurated and launched 3 national flagship programs for aquaculture sector. Aquaculture in India. Aquaculture is the process rearing, breeding and harvesting of aquatic species, both animals and plants, in controlled aquatic environments like the oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds and streams. World's second largest aquaculture nation, India. Farmed shrimp accounts for 70% of India's seafood exports. Third largest fish producer, 75% of fish production by inland fisheries. Fourth largest fishing exporting country, 25% of fish production by marine fisheries. Anatolian plate, Turkey, I think. Powerful earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, leaving over 3,800 people died. Okay. hit initially by a magnitude 7 to 8 earthquake. Dozens of aftershocks followed the initial quake. Region where earthquake has struck lies along a seismic fault line called Anatolia tectonic block that runs through northern, central and eastern Turkey. Seismic activity in this region is a result of interactions between African, Eurasian and Arabian plates. Arabian plate is known to be pushing northward, which results in a slight westward movement for Anatolian plate where Turkey is located. One of the largest strike slip earthquakes to occur in recent times. It struck along East Anatolian fault zone. Strike slip faults are vertical or nearly vertical fractures where blocks have mostly moved horizontally. In these faults, two plates move parallel but in opposite direction from one another. Turkey bridges continents of Europe via eastern Thrace and Asia via Anatolian plateau divided by Dardanelles Sea of Marmara and Bosporus Strait. It is surrounded by Bulgaria and Greece in northeast, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan and Iran to east, and Syria and Iraq to south. Samudrayan mission. Union Minister of Earth Sciences recently shared details of Samudrayan mission. Samudrayan mission is aimed to develop a self-propelled manned submersible Matsya 6000 to carry 3 human beings to a water depth of 6000 meters for deep ocean exploration. Matsya 6000 is being developed by National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai. It has developed 6000 meters depth rated remotely operated vehicle and various other underwater instruments such as autonomous scoring system, autonomous underwater vehicle and deep sea mining system for the exploration of deep sea. It has an endurance of 12 hours of operational period and 96 hours in case of emergency. It is being developed under Deep Ocean Mission. About Deep Ocean Mission, Union Cabinet approved a Deep Ocean Mission in 2021 with a total budget of 4,077 crores rupees for 5 years, aimed to explore deep ocean for resources and develop deep sea technologies for sustainable use of ocean resources. The part of the ocean that lies below a depth of 200 meters is defined as the deep sea. Considering importance of oceans and sustainability, UN declared 2021 to 2030 as decade of ocean science for sustainable development. It is a mission mode project to support blue economy initiatives. Blue economy is sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihoods and jobs while preserving the health of ocean ecosystem. Mission is to be implemented under aegis of the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Ladakh's first biodiversity heritage site. Local biodiversity management program concerned Panchayat along with the Secure Himalaya project recently resolved to declare Yaya TSO as Ladakh's TSO as first Ladakh's biodiversity heritage site. Yaya TSO is a nesting habitat for a large number of birds and animals such as the bar-headed goose, black-necked crane and Brahminari duck. It is one of the highest breeding sites of the black-necked crane in India. Asiatic lions are slightly smaller than African lions. Okay. National Digital University. Framework of National Digital University as envisaged under the National Education Policy 2020 was revealed. National Digital University is a university designed to bring together various higher educational institutions for providing online higher educational courses offered by partner institutes, both private and public universities. Samarth Portal, sponsored by Ministry of Education under the National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology scheme in 2019. It integrates technology and allows HES to deploy a digital framework for planning, management, delivery and monitoring of education services in a seamless manner. Number of seats. There will be an unlimited number of seats for every course in National Digital University. ABC system, use of standardized academic bank of credits system established by the University Grants Commission to facilitate academic mobility. Euthanasia. Recently, Supreme Court simplified its rules on passive euthanasia. In a 2018 judgment, Common Cause versus Union of India, SC had recognized the right to die with dignity as a part of Article 21 of the Constitution. It had accordingly upheld the legal validity of passive euthanasia. It was argued that the directions had become virtually unenforceable owing to the complexity of the procedures prescribed by Supreme Court. Thus, necessary amendments were sought to make the judgment workable. Accordingly, several changes were introduced by the 5-judge bench in the guidelines laid down in 2018 with respect to the execution and enforcement of advanced medical directives as well as the procedure for passive euthanasia. Advanced medical directives or living will is a legal document that extends a person's autonomy and control over their healthcare decisions in the event they become incapacitated. Quantum coherence. Recently, an international team of scientists made a breakthrough in retaining the quantum coherence of quantum dot spin qubits. About quantum coherence, it is the ability of a quantum state to maintain its entanglement and superposition in the face of interactions. It deals with the idea that all objects have wave-like properties. Spin photon interfaces are elementary building blocks for quantum networks. These allow converting stationary quantum information such as the quantum state of an ion or a solid state into light, namely photons that can be distributed over large distances. A major challenge is to find an interface that is both good at storing quantum information and efficient at converting it into light. Optically active semiconductor quantum dots are the most efficient spin photon interface known to date, but extending their storage time beyond a few microseconds is difficult. Okay. Quantum dots are unique type of nanocrystalline semiconductor whose electronic and optical properties are dependent on the size and the shape of the dots. World Health Organization's pandemic treaty, WHO's pandemic treaty. Recently, WHO members held the first round of negotiations towards the pandemic treaty. WHO leading two major international initiatives to address on the threat of future pandemics. First initiative involves revising the international health regulations to improve global health alerts speed and efficiency. Second initiative involves negotiating a new pandemic treaty to provide a more efficient and equitable response to pandemics in the future. WHO pandemic A0 WHO published a zero draft of the pandemic treaty. It will entail for global and national levels pandemic preparedness. The draft opens the path to major multilateral negotiations and has invited inputs from member groups. It aims to prevent pandemics, save lives, reduce disease burden and protect livelihoods through strengthening the world's capacities for preventing, preparing for and responding to and recovery of health systems from pandemics. Nuclear energy program. Haryana's first nuclear power plant will be set up in Gorakhpur village. Gorakhpur Haryana Anu Vidyut Pariyojana will have two units of 7,000 megawatt E capacity, each of pressurized heavy water reactor. Lithium deposits. Recently I have seen a meme on Instagram where okay Jammu and Kashmir. Geological Survey of India has for the first time established lithium inferred resources G3 of 5.9 million tons in Salal Haimana area of Rehezi district of Jammu and Kashmir. Geological Survey of India, set up in 1851 primarily to find coal deposits for the railways, presently is an attached office to the Ministry of Mines. Objective: establishing a repository of geoscientific information and assessment of mineral resources. Other key information: it achieves its objectives through ground surveys, airborne and marine surveys, mineral prospecting and investigations, multidisciplinary geoscientific, geotechnical, geo-environmental and natural hazards, studies glaciology, seismogenic study and carry out fundamental research. Applications of lithium. Primary uses: due to its ability to store energy, it is primarily used to build the rechargeable batteries that power modern appliances including mobile phones and electric vehicles. Lithium alloys. Lithium alloys are lighter and strong in nature. A magnesium lithium alloy is used for armor plating. Aluminum lithium alloys are used in aircraft, bicycle frames and high speed trains. Significance of lithium find: reducing import dependency, strengthen India's national mission on transformative mobility and battery storage, strengthening of critical mineral supply chain for emerging technologies, etc. Slow. Risks from lithium mining in the region: high risk is in ecologically sensitive Himalayas. Environmental pollution: extracting lithium from its ore is highly water intensive, CO2 emissions, etc. Beam forming a laser beam between transmitting entity and the user. Beam forming. Harvest festivals of India. Makar Sankranti is major harvest festival celebrated across India and different states. Celebrate festival under different names, traditions and festivities. Festival is dedicated to sun god Surya and marks the first day of sun's transit into Makara, Capricorn. Makara means Capricorn. Makar Sankranti heralds end of winter and start of longer days as sun moves northward. Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. The Prime Minister inaugurated the year-long celebrations commemorating the 200th birth anniversary of Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. Shuddhi movement. Know the term. It was initiated by Swami Dayanand Saraswati to bring back Islamic of Christian converts into Hinduism. This became a very popular movement by the early 20th century, especially aimed at lower caste converts who are given a higher social status and self-esteem under the more egalitarian Arya Samaj philosophy. Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. He was a social reformer. His views on religion, politics and society were published in his famous work Satya Prakash 1875. Arya Samaj. Dayanand Saraswati founded Arya Samaj in 1875 in Bombay to counter social inequities. To move Hindu religion away from the fictitious beliefs, Krinwan to Vishwam Aryam was the motto of the Samaj, which means make this world noble. Promoted a united Hindu society on the basis of Vedic teachings. Condemned ritualistic practices like ideal worship, pilgrimage and bathing in holy rivers, animal sacrifices, etc. Role of Arya Samaj. Cultural and social awakening through its emphasis on social reforms and education. Supported widow remarriage, education of girl child and opposed child marriage. Paropkarani Sabha, established under Arya Samaj to propagate Vedic traditions through gurukuls and publications as mediums. 200th birth anniversary now. Okay. Ahom burial mounds. Charaido Maidams. India has decided to nominate Assam's Charaido Maidams or Moidams Ahom burial mounds for the UNESCO World Heritage Center for the year 2023. About Charaido Maidams, mounds containing the remains of the royalty of the Ahom dynasty. Location along the foothills of the Patkai range. These are commonly known as pyramids of Assam. Pyramids of Assam. Source of information: Changrang Fukan, canonical text developed by Ahoms, provides detail about the different aspects of the Maidams. Structure: they are vaulted chamber. They are often double storied hemispherical mud mound layers of bricks, and earth is laid at the top, and the base of the mound is reinforced by a polygonal toy wall and an arched gateway on the west. Each vaulted chamber has centrally raised platform where the body was laid. Several objects used by royal family, like royal insignia, objects made in wood or ivory or iron, gold pendants, etc., were also buried with them. Decline of this burial system: after 18th century, many converted to Buddhism and others adopted Hindu method of cremation. Then they began entombing the cremated bones and ashes in a maidam. Do you know? Egyptian pyramids are funerary tombs and ceremonial complexes of the departed pharaohs, kings. The construction of pyramids started from mastabas, a mud brick bench-like structure. Placing 6 mastabas, each smaller than the one beneath, takes the shape of pyramid. They are located on the west bank of the Nile River. Grey hydrogen, process steam reforming, source natural gas. Blue hydrogen, process steam reforming with carbon capture, source natural gas. Green hydrogen, process electrolysis, source renewable energies. Black hydrogen, process gasification, coal. Types of hydrogen based on production methods: pink hydrogen, process electrolysis, source nuclear energy. Turquoise hydrogen, process pyrolysis, source natural gas. Yellow hydrogen, solar energy, process electrolysis. టెస్ట్లో చేద్దాం టుమారో ఒకసారి చూద్దాం.